What's going on, guys? Today we're going to do a preview for the Duke basketball season of 2025-26. We're going to look at the schedule. I'll give you my predictions for the win-loss total for this season, and then I'll follow it up at the back end of this video with my projected rotation for the Blue Devils. So let's jump right into it. All right, so we've got schedule pulled up here, starting with Countdown to Craziness. And UCF and Tennessee exhibitions, but none of those count. So the first game of the season will officially be Texas. We're not going to talk about each matchup, but we'll certainly highlight all of the key non-conference games, and then I'll give you guys the conference opponents because we don't have the official schedule yet. Please like this video. It really means a lot. And then also for you guys who follow along with us last year, really appreciate you. We'll be doing a few more in-depth breakdowns for the Blue Devils with my dad, JD, over the next month or two as we get ready to gear up for the season. So Texas, I think the Blue Devils get this one. It's in Charlotte. I think they're a better team. I think they'll have enough to get this first win of the season. They've got some easier opponents after that. Western Carolina. The game at Army, that's a fun one. Indiana State comes to Cameron. And then a big matchup against Kansas. The school that I think had the best chance to get Dame Sarr until Cedric Coward ended up staying in the NBA draft. And then Duke focused on Dame. So it's interesting that they have this matchup. You get two of the three best freshmen in the country with Cameron Boozer taking on Darren Peterson. I think the Blue Devils get this one in Cameron North. We got Niagara and Howard as part of the Brotherhood run. And then they've got a fun matchup on Thanksgiving against Arkansas. And this one's in Chicago, neutral site. Then they've got Florida after that at home. I think the Blue Devils are going to split these games. I just think these are two really tough teams. Now, fortunately, none of these games are on the road, but I just think they're going to split these. But I could see a world where they win both. I'm not sold on Florida's backcourt, but their front court is legit. And Arkansas, I think they may have one of the better freshmen in the country as well with Darius Acuff. And they've got a lot of size, but I'm not sure about their three-point shooting as a collective. Next up, we've got Michigan State on the road. That's going to be a tough game just because of where it's being played. It's always tough to win on the road in college basketball, especially against a solid team like Michigan State. Then they've got Texas Tech in Madison Square Garden near the end of December, and Michigan in a neutral site game, somewhat neutral site game, certainly closer for the Duke fans in Washington, D.C. For the Blue Devils, I've got them going 11-2. We've got them going 5-2 with those big 7 non-conference opponents, and then winning the rest of the other 6 non-conference games, bringing them to a total of 11-2. But I could see them going 12-1 in non-conference play. Then you look at the conference opponents. So they're going to play North Carolina and Louisville home and away this year. I've got them splitting those 4 games, going 2-2. They'll play at home to Boston College, Clemson, Georgia Tech, SMU, Syracuse, Virginia, and Wake Forest. And I think they're going to go 6-1, though I could see them going 7-0. The Virginia game is the one that I have some worry about. I think that's going to be a very good team. But honestly, I think they're going to go – if I had to redo this, I would say 7-0 rather than 6-1. But my initial prediction was 6-1. And then on the road – Cal, Florida State, NC State, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Stanford, and Virginia Tech. Like I said before, it's always tough to win on the road in college basketball, and particularly in the last handful of seasons, even longer than that. Tough for the Blue Devils to win at NC State. So that's the one I would pick, but I got them going 6-1 on the road for a total of 14-4 in conference play and 25-6 overall. So we're going to move into the rotation. If you're still watching this video, hit that subscribe button. It really helps a lot with the growth of this channel. So we've got the roster filled out. This is how I project the depth chart as of right now. Although there are 2 positions which I think are very much up in the air. And then the minutes, I think I'm not sold on anything here. So much so that I've made a change, which you'll see based off how my depth chart is compared to how the minutes look out. But the first one that won't be a change, It's Cameron Boozer. Cameron Boozer is the only guy I have projected to play more than 30 minutes a game. And I just think this is a lock. And we don't really need to spend a whole lot of time on it. I just think he's going to be really awesome for the Blue Devils immediately. Then, next up, I got Dame Sarr. I got him playing 27 minutes. It's a little bit conservative. It's also because I think this Duke team is very deep. I think Dame could end up playing more than that. But, looking back at last year's team, there's 3 guys, Flagg, Proctor, Knipple, who played 30 minutes a game. I think we'll see a couple of guys emerge who will get a similar level of trust as Boozer. But as of right now, I just don't have a ton of confidence as to who those players might be. Next up, we're going to go Isaiah Evans. And Isaiah Evans, 25 minutes a game is what I have him projected for right now. I think that could fluctuate up or down depending on his consistency. I think he got better as the year went on last year, but he's not going to be in the spark plug role. And when he started last year, there were times where he kind of just fit into the rest of the guys on the team. And there's 1 or 2 games in particular that I remember where he took a ton of shots. This is a very different team this season, and so I think he'll have a more consistent offensive role, and it's just about can he bring the defense that he had by the end of the season on a consistent basis, which I think he can. So I've got him pegged right now for 25 minutes, but that could be more for Evans. Now, next up, point guard spot, and I've got Foster at 25 minutes right now. I think it's Foster's position to lose. From the little bit we saw from the public scrimmage, it seemed like Coach Scheyer was happy with Boozer and how he ran the team. So I do think there's certainly pressure on Foster to keep this spot, but I think it's Foster's spot to lose as of now. It's September 2nd. We'll get more information as we get close to the season, and this could certainly end up being Caden Boozer, who as of right now I have as the 6th man for the Blue Devils. But I think both these guys are going to play a good amount of minutes, and I think there's going to be a healthy competition between Caden Boozer and Caleb Foster to be the starting point guard. But either way, I think these guys are either one, whoever ends up coming off the bench, or maybe neither does. Maybe they end up starting both, although I think the wings between Evans, Sarr, and we'll get to Hemenia are good enough that you're probably going to stick with one of these guys at the point guard spot. With that being said, though, the most intriguing spot to me is the center spot. And it's not necessarily going to be about who gets more minutes, because I think ultimately it's going to end up being similar, but who starts. And this is where I had a little bit of a change. I'm going with Patrick Gangba II. And I think he ends up starting over Malik Brown. I mean, Malik keeps his role as an off-the-bench, change-of-pace defensive guy. But I do think if both guys, Malik Brown can shoot the 3 consistently, and we'll plug in Malik right now with the minutes I expect him to play here as the 8th man technically for Duke. But I think guys 6, 7, and 8 are going to play similar amounts of minutes, kind of similar to last year's team. But Malik and Patrick, I think, can play a little bit together. We saw a little bit last season. I think if both guys shoot the 3 more consistently, I think though that option will be more available. And the other thing I want to point out is I have both of them just below 20 minutes a game right now. And that's because I think Cameron Boozer will see a couple of minutes at the 5 this season for the Blue Devils. He's certainly big enough at 6'9", 250. And with the depth in the wing spots, the forward position, and especially the point guard spot, I think Duke will want to get some of those other guys more opportunities, and one of the ways to do so will be to play Cameron Boozer at the 5. Now, I think one of the best things about these bigs for Duke, you can play Cameron Boozer with Gangba, you can play Cameron Boozer with Malik Brown, and you can play Brown and Gangba together as well. So I just think there's a lot of versatility in the front court for the Blue Devils this year. Rounding out the rest of the rotation, I've got Nicholas Hemenia. Right now, I've got him earmarked at 20 minutes, and that is a little bit of a cop-out. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think he can play less. I think he can play more. I'm just not sure between him, Sarr, Evans, and in a lesser extent, Darren Harris, who we'll get to in a second here, how the rotation is going to shake out between them. And so I've got them playing similar amounts of minutes, but as of right now, Evans and Sarr as the starters, which means I've got Darren Harris as the 9th man and Sebastian Wilkins, as of right now, out of the rotation as the 10th man. I think Harris gets the first crack as the 9th man in this rotation. There will be games, especially in some of these big games, where I'm very curious. Does Harris get squeezed out of this rotation? Do we go 8 deep? There were several games early on last year where Coach Scheyer did not trust the bench, and it also happened late in the season as well. So I think, the easier opponents, we'll see a lot of these guys. I think we'll see more of these questions answered maybe the first game of the season with Texas, certainly the Kansas game, right? And so as we get more information, I think it'll be fun to come back and look at this and say, where was I wrong? What did I get right? But as of right now, this is what I'm going with. Let me know what you guys agree with and disagree with in comments below. If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, peace.